Hello, everybody. You're very, very welcome to this amazing event about social impacts and about projects with purpose. I'm Peter Glynn. I'm the president of the Ireland Chapter of PMI, and you're very, very welcome this afternoon at this great event. I'm going to just share very briefly. We have a number of other exciting events coming up, and you may be aware that next week, for the first time ever, we're actually doing PM Week, where we've got five amazing events over 5 evenings. And I would highly encourage you to have a look at our website and have a look at the five amazing events. And certainly, it'd be great to see you out to as many of those as is possible. We also have another very exciting event on enterprise agility, which we are actually welcoming Lenka Pincott, who is the PMI Global Chief of Staff to the PMO, or sorry, into the CEO. And she's coming over to Dublin on the 18th of September. And we're going to have an amazing event all around it, enterprise agility. So again, I would highly encourage you to have a look at that event and attend. I'm very conscious that we've got an absolutely fabulous event this afternoon, and I'm going to hand over into the overall director of social impact, who is Carlos Mandalosi, and I'm going to hand over to him now for a further welcome. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Peter. So you are all very welcomed. Thanks for attending the webinar. This is our first webinar, and we are going to talk about social impact projects with purpose. Basically, how can project managers create a meaningful change in the world? So this is our agenda. So we are going to talk about project success and social impact, about the Ireland Chapter initiatives, about the Antarctica, about the Climate Action Week, then the upcoming events, and I hope you want to get involved. So we are going to tell you how to get involved. So let's say the title for this is Project Success, and we are talking about social impact. So first, let's define what is project success for us. Basically, we are going to work with non-profit organizations or NGOs. So what's project success for non-profit? Basically, we want to maximize project success for non-profit impact. And so saying bringing impact home and put your PM skills into action with the project managers without borders. How do we define project success? So PMI has a new definition. Say before we always had that triangle with deliver projects on budget, on time, and on quality. That is still valid, and it's more related to project delivery. So PMI now is thinking about the whole more holistic view about project success, and their new definition is project is a success when the delivery value was worth the effort and expense. So you're looking at this picture is, I think, is very clear. Say that we need more value than the effort and expenses, and this is about the whole project, not just the delivery of the project. I always mention maybe you have a project to build a new building, and you deliver the building, say it's fine, nice building, but then the building is empty. Nobody wants to live there. So maybe the project is not a success. Yeah. So this is maybe the difference. You can deliver a thing on time, on budget, but then there is no value for the customer or for a non-profit. One important aspect of our work is the project managers without borders. So project manager without borders, they started before PMI. They were created by some leaders from PMI. And I think it was last year they became part of PMI. So basically they want to help non-profit organizations providing project management skills. And by providing this project management expertise, they help not-for-profits execute their initiatives, maximize their impact, and enhance their operations. So basically, they don't just manage projects, but they help communities, and we are working together with them. And why is PMI involved with social impact? What's the problem? Many nonprofit and NGOs organizations, they face challenges delivering their projects due to a lack of project management, expertise, limited budgets and resources. And what's the solution we are proposing? So the Ireland Chapter of PMI, we can collaborate with these nonprofit organizations, providing expertise and engaging skilled volunteers. And together, we can help these organizations deliver impactful and successful projects aligned with their mission. So basically, it's to use the expertise of our project managers that are volunteers to help the NGOs. There is one difference. In the beginning, when I started working with PMI as a director in the beginning of the year, my title was social good. And now we are calling social impact because PMI has defined the difference between these two things. So social good is the traditional hands-on volunteering. For example, you can go to a beach and help clean the beach, or you can plant some trees. And this is usually short-term initiatives addressing immediate needs. And social impact is the way we want to work. And basically is to use the skills that PMs have to help the nonprofits. And this should be a more sustainable work, a long-term work. So we don't want to provide hands to them, but we want to help them improve their process using project management tools and methodologies to have a long-term impact. So it's a more systemic approach. So basically, this is what we're trying to do with our initiatives. One very interesting thing, PMI has developed a report, and in this report, it's about project success. And they identify that projects that align with social impact, they have a higher perceived success rate. And they, in this report, they align with the SDGs from the United Nations. So you can see the numbers there: 13 climate action, 11 sustainable cities, and they create an index called the NPSS. It's called the Net Project Success Score, and the average score across different of these SDGs is 36. And during the research, they interviewed thousands of people in a survey, and they I think interviewed 55 big companies, and they identified that when a project is associated, for example, with climate change, this index increases from 36 to 61. So the perception of success is much higher. The same for sustainability of communities, grows from 36 to 55, reduce hunger 54, and so on and so forth. So this shows that we should always try to link a project with some social impact, because the stakeholders, they can perceive the impact that we are doing. And here are some insights from this report about how to activate this project success. So for us as project professionals, we should understand how each project connects to social good when outlining the project scope, and communicate that message to other stakeholders. So connecting project work to a higher good can be inspiring to the team and positively affect customer satisfaction. So this is like a call to action. We should always think about what's the social impact with a project that we are working on. The same for executives. When we make a connection between specific corporate social responsibility efforts and customer satisfaction with that projects, they are more likely to deliver higher customer value perception. So it's one thing for the project professionals, then say we should sell this idea about the social impact to the executives. And then that is very good for the project management profession, because this is an opportunity to be a key player in delivering greater value through the power of projects, big and small, to elevate our world. And this is really aligned with the PMI strategy and PMI vision. And what we are doing in the Ireland chapter. So we have some social impact initiatives that we are going to talk today. And what's our focus? So in line with the Project Managers Without Borders, we seek to connect project managers with nonprofit organizations and NGOs, enabling them to apply their professional skills to drive impact on global social challenges to create lasting positive change in our local community. So basically, we want to work together with the NGOs to make them successful. And what we offer to these NGOs. So we offer one-off project support. We can also offer pro bono project management services to NGOs. We are doing this today. We can do capacity building through PM skills development. So as I mentioned before, we want to provide this knowledge to NGOs, say how to create a timeline, how to create a schedule, how to think about risks, how to manage your stakeholders. So these are all the project management skills that we can transfer to them. We can also work with fundraising and grant support. We can use our network and partnerships to support them, and we can bring some innovation to the way they work. And this is our team. So it's me, the director. Gabriela is our lead volunteer. Then we have Paramita, Vanda, and Ahmed. They are volunteers. We are looking for more volunteers. So if you want to join our team, say in the end, we'll have a QR code that you can use to contact with us. And now talking about our current projects. So we have two main projects. One is with the Irish Emergency Alliance, and I can see that Brian Casey has joined our webinar. Brian is the CEO of the Irish Emergency Alliance. So thanks for joining, Brian. And the Irish Emergency Alliance is a coalition of leading Irish humanitarian organizations that respond to global crises by pooling resources and coordinating efforts to provide effective aid. So they are the first NGO that we are working on. We have been helping them with fundraising. We have been donating money from our events. For example, the registrations for the Project Management Week next week. There is a small fee. And why we are charging that small fee? One of the reasons is that we are going to donate the money we raise to Irish Emergency Alliance. We are trying to link other initiatives from the chapter to social impact. So, for example, this year we had an AI hackathon, and the values that we got there were donated to the Irish Emergency Alliance. The same with our national conference. We are also working with them to improve some process to improve their communication and partnerships with companies. And now they are doing an appeal for Gaza, and this is a QR code. So we will be really grateful if you can scan the QR code and donate some money for their appeal. If you cannot use the QR code, say you can access their website, irishemergencalliance.org, and then it's a way for you to help. The second NGO is called Antashka. They are the National Trust for Ireland. And we are going to talk who is Antashka, but basically what we are doing, our volunteers are supporting Antashka delivering the 2025 Climate Action Week by applying project management skills and tools to reach their 2025 objectives. And we have a volunteer that's doing a lot of work with them. So we have a team. but this person is doing a pro bono work, so he's really working together as part of the team. So it's really interesting. And now I want to introduce Alex from Antarctica, and she's going to talk a little bit who is Antarctica and what's the Climate Action Week. So
Thank you,
over
Carlos.
to you, Alex.
Thanks, Carlos. So as Carlos mentioned, I'm Alex Riley. I'm the Climate Communications Officer with the Climate Action Team in Antarctica. I spend the majority of my day storytelling, communicating the many great actions of my team, the progress of our programme, and elevating the voices and dedication of our climate ambassadors. As Carlos mentioned, we are currently in planning mode with our 9th Climate Action Week Festival, which is taking place around the country from the 13th to 19th of October. Working with the Ireland Chapter of PMI volunteers has been an exciting skill sharing journey to date. A collaboration that will be immensely beneficial for Climate Action Week, the external festival hosts, the local attendees, and ultimately our planet. I'm delighted to be involved today, and hopefully I'll entice all of you to participate in Climate Action Week this year. I'll go for the next slide, please. So, for those of you who do not know, Antarctica is the National Trust for Ireland and the national operator for the Foundation for Environment Education. This includes Blue Flag, learning about forests, young reporters for the environment, and green schools. We have also developed many prestigious national programs such as Clean Coasts and the program I work directly with, Climate Ambassadors. Antarctica facilitates best practice environmental action with over 100 highly skilled staff working with approximately 1.4 million teachers, students, ambassadors, volunteers, and community groups annually across Ireland for over 30 years. We have particular expertise in supporting leaders in local businesses and uniting communities to take climate action as part of our Climate Ambassador programme. I'll go for the next slide. Due to the climate crisis, sorry, just the one before, thanks. Brilliant. So Climate Action Week. Due to the climate crisis, behavioural and lifestyle changes and even workplace adjustments are now fundamental parts of our lives 365 days a year. But for 1 week in October, we switched the focus from fundamental to fun, with people-powered events that work to tackle the climate crisis in counterintuitive, empowering, and hope-filled ways. Climate Action Week is Ireland's largest pop-up climate festival, which Antarctica has coordinated on behalf of the Department of Climate, Emergency, Energy and Environment since 2017, apologies. Previously, there have been neon bike discos, tree planting, forest bathing, movie screenings, swap shops, sustainable foodie trails, repair cafes, neighbourhood dinner parties, storytelling, engaging panel discussions, and even climate cabaret and comedy. And yes, there is humour to be found even when talking about the climate crisis. All are welcome to take part in Climate Action Week, from the seasoned climate activist to those who are new to climate action. Next slide. The festival brings together local authorities, communities, organisations and individuals and showcases the power of collective action. For example, Laois County Council hosted their first Climate Action Week festival last year, with 50 events taking place, and the festival welcomed over 1,000 attendees. Likewise, Youghal Blue and Green, which is a network of external stakeholders, funders, community organisations and interested individuals, will return to host their 3rd Climate Action Week this year. They utilise the festival to engage the public in their 3 pillars of community work: renewable energy, marine protection and environment. Multiple or individual, big or small, every climate action event matters, with the aim of inspiring a ripple effect of community climate action throughout the year. Next slide. So we're just, I think we go forward a little bit. There we go. Brilliant. In 2024, we had 342 registered events, 823 communications, and 14,000 people engaged, and 355,000 reached. So uniting together packs a powerful punch for the planet. This year, we plan to increase that impact, the impact of Climate Action Week Festival, by launching our dedicated low-carbon festival website, climateactionweek.ie. It offers a free support platform for organisers to promote their events, and it also is an information hub for festival attendees to plan their week of brilliant events. We have also immersed ourselves in the wealth of expertise offered by the Ireland Chapter of PMI, the advanced project management toolkit shared, and the team's genuine investment in the ethos and impact of Climate Action Week Festival has been both invigorating and heartwarming. So far, they have believed in, backed and bolstered our team. And through the collaboration, we have increased project management efficiency, and we predict Climate Action Week capacity growth. Next slide. So now it's over to you. We ask you to explore our website, our QR code is there, and begin to get creative with the many ways you can get involved in Climate Action Week. This is your Climate Action Week call to action, so it's time to think about what you will do this October. Now, I'm actually changing hats a little bit. So I'm also a climate ambassador. So we'll hop on to the next slide. So the Climate Ambassador Program is run by Antashka. It's an initiative that trains individuals taking action on climate change. I myself participated in the initiative in 2022, which supported me to bringing climate action best practices to a very different role. Next slide, please. Before my pivot into climate communications with Antashka, I did a very different job. I was an entertainment television producer and scriptwriter with over 20 years experience. If you watch celebrities doing the cha-cha-cha, beautiful homes getting judged, or apprentices getting fired, then I've been one of the crew capturing it all on camera. And from 2019 to 2024, I worked on the 6 o'clock show with Virgin Media as a producer and the production screen lead. During that period, one small sustainable idea had a massive social impact on the 6 o'clock show. I'd like to share how that impact filtered through to the production, the team, our audience, and Virgin Media Television. Next slide, please. For the last 10 years, the 6 o'clock show has delivered a successful formula of lively celebrity guests, entertainment news, expert advice, and fabulous food. For those of you who may not have watched it yet, and I get it, it's on at 6 o'clock, you're probably working or on your commute, I'll describe the vibe. It's after a long day's toil, the 6 o'clock show is like the TV equivalent of slipping into your comfy clothes and having a chat with that familiar friend that doesn't take themselves too seriously. It's not current affairs. So for many, the show offers this kind of safe space that has very little bad news. Then came along that small sustainable idea I mentioned a little bit earlier. Management decided to push the boundaries within our industry by replacing the 6 o'clock show set with Ireland's first 100% sustainable television set. All materials used were environmentally sustainable, pre-loved and ethically crafted. Inspired, I pretty much then led the production to earn sustainable certification from BAFTA Albert, the leading TV and film industry organisation for environmental sustainability. And I introduced Climate Action Week to both Virgin Media and a national television audience. Next slide, please. So with the new set, of course, we wanted to reflect the integrity of our new sustainable surroundings, and we set out to increase our climate conscious content. We wanted content that engaged and benefited our viewers, but didn't send them diving for the remote control. So we stuck to our winning formula, but we just leveled up with a sustainable twist. We made sure to include celebrity guests that had interesting climate action stories to tell. We adapted our regular contributors. So, for example, in our entertainment segment, we included stories about celebrities who were promoting planet protection, as well as their latest movie. Very importantly, as well, our consumer expert related the financial impact of the climate crisis to viewers at home. So, related to their home life, their livelihoods, and then offered important tips on how to save money by going green. We expanded our panel of contributors to include climate action experts, behavioral change experts, and anti-food waste cooking chefs. We remained authentic to the 6 o'clock show style. That was very important. And we did that by reporting on climate issues through stories of real people, positive improvements, and quantifiable change that offered hope. That was a big one. It had to offer hope. And we gave advice that empowered viewers to take achievable action themselves. So when they turned off the TV, they said, you know what, I'm going to give that a try. We also understood the power of small nudges. So, like promoting when our presenters wore pre-loved clothes or we wore their wardrobes. Off camera, the crew engaged in climate literacy training, and growth really came out of coming out of our comfort zone, trying new things. Climate action, sustainable language and behaviors became naturally embedded in the team's creative processes and everyday production practices. Carlos mentioned earlier on the difference between like projects being just delivered and then projects being a success. And we were able to see the difference in the two with the content that we were creating. Our rating system showed that our climate content was resonating with our audience. They weren't switching the channel, they were sticking with us, and demonstrated to us that our contribution to climate action reporting was valid, even though we were an entertainment chat show. There was a real sense of pride amongst the team for implementing the ambitious content changes, earning a BAFTA Albert Sustainable Certification. We also went on to implement similar changes on other VMTV productions, and we saw the hard work of the whole team being featured in industry case studies. Next slide, please. Outside of work, at the same time, I was part of Antasha's Climate Ambassador Programme. So this programme encourages all of its climate ambassadors to get involved in Climate Action Week. And being part of Climate Action Week is all about bringing your own skills and talents to the table, just like Carlos was talking about with project managers. So I'm not a climate scientist. You know, my area of expertise is not like biodiversity, for example. So I knew that what I could do was communications. I decided to utilize my skills and bring the festival, the 6 o'clock show, to the 6 o'clock show audience. So I brought Climate Action Week to the 6 o'clock show in 2022 for the first time, and then it has continued since. In a powerful and positive week-long celebration, the production team, presenters, a very inspirational past president, celebrities, actors, authors, performers united to deliver climate action inspiration each day at scale. There was compelling stories, great advice, and some very enthusiastic chefs who undertook the challenge to create enticing meals using spare ingredients from the chef the day before. And they really proved that there's no excuse not to be able to make a tasty meal out of the leftovers in your fridge. Subsequently, Virgin Media was inspired to host its own Climate Action Week festival for all of its employees. There were a variety of events, including talks on biodiversity, behavioural change, bike repair workshops, clothes swaps, and a company-wide sustainability competition that got very competitive. Most importantly, VMTV's in-house Climate Action Week meant that we spent time reflecting on the impact that we can have as individuals, but also the bigger impact we can make from uniting as a community of colleagues. I'll finish now. I hope the story of the 6 o'clock show's journey demonstrates that consistent and authentic changes and actions can lead to a big impact. Sometimes a small change can also lead to a whole new career in climate action with Antashka, but that's a whole other webinar. I'm going to hand over now. I'm going to be giving you over to a fellow award-winning climate ambassador, Kurt Reinhardt. Kurt is a senior client advisor, life science and health tech with Enterprise Ireland. He chairs the sustainability committee and consults on the Connacht GAA Aerodrome rebuild. When you hear about the social impact that climate action and sustainable adaptation has had on not just Connacht GAA, but the wider community, I think you'll be forgiven for thinking that every week is Climate Action Week when Kurt is involved. Over to you, Kurt.
Thanks very much, Alex. Appreciate the introduction and the invite to be here today. Next slide. I'll just give you an overview of my past. So I have worked for Connacht GAA for the last 6 years, delivering the world's largest aerodrome, which unfortunately we felt the full effects of climate change in the last Storm Owen, where it took the dome down. We are planning to rebuild by Paddy's Day of next year. But I'll give you some overview of the site itself and where we started and how the Climate Ambassador Program helped me in delivering what we delivered. So what you see there is the overall site. There's 85 acres of football pitches and the Aerodrome Administration Centre. There's 2.5 kilometres of walkway. We have beehives, bug hotels. We have 7 acres of an ash plantation. We have planted 13,000 native trees on site. Our project, from a sustainability point of view, kickstarted in 2007 with the plantation of the ash plantation. And then evolved, and I suppose to bring us on, we had a strategy review in 2020, which the site prior to that was best practice for sports, education centre for all our membership and our clubs. And essentially I positioned an argument to say, why not more? Why not use our leadership position within the community to inspire, educate, and show best practice to our clubs and members with regards to sustainability. So this slide just gives you an overall feel of our roadmap to date. I now work with Enterprise Ireland, but I'm still a volunteer with Connacht GAA and still sit with all on all our sustainability efforts, both in Connacht and national. So some examples there, we have rainwater harvesting, which now services all our toilets, 72,000 litres of a tank. We have building management systems, and really why I put that up there is that all our sustainable decisions are made now with data in the background. So our waste program, for example, we banned black bags, clear bags on site only. Our waste provider feeds into that building management system every Wednesday as they take the bins. We can see, for example, are our staff segregating the bins, for example, correctly. So the data tells me that a black bin is full but light, which tells me that our people aren't segregating recyclable material appropriately. So it drives fundamental policy and change right to the ground. Key to delivering all of this was our sustainability and biodiversity committee, so that we had a formal place, reporting place in life, which was a first within the GAA. Connacht GAA is an administration body, so we were different than other sporting teams or clubs where people don't walk around the street with a grow or a love for Connacht GAA. So we reached out to the community, and I suppose that really began to connect the human element to all our efforts and goals with regards to our environment and our environment around us, and social prescription per se. So all the local schools built our bug hotels and the walkways that our visitors, 200,000 visitors per year, enjoy now. The trees and the hedgerows, we planted 13,000 trees. We're a volunteer, an NGO essentially body. So to deliver trees, we struck a partnership with Trees in the Land, which is a charity, and then we needed labour. So we reached out again to the community, to our over 60s community in particular, and we brought in place a day out, essentially, which became a regular occurrence every Tuesday, Thursday for a number of months in the first planting season, and that's continued each year. But to engage that some more, we have a medical centre on site, and we introduced a medically supervised exercise classes for those over 60s, and now they come and they inspect the trees and how they're getting on the days of their exercise. So it's an ongoing program. A lot of these programs that we do, we actually don't measure the smile, I suppose, and that's where the social prescription and connecting the human element into our actions was really important for our success. Solar panels, we have 300 kilowatts of solar on site. We're Ireland's first export on a Category B license with the ESB. And we sell just under 50,000 euros worth of electricity back to the grid now. Interestingly, I suppose as well, perhaps for projects that you might be involved with, we source ecological paint, so lime-based paint for the building. It's much more healthier environment for us to be in as staff and our visitors. It allows the concrete to breathe. It's not oil-based. Next slide. So before I left my role with Connacht GA, I struck a partnership with the broader community in Connacht, which we have 222 communities involved in, and looking at trying to work out a way how to have an impactful project introduced across the province. So we struck a deal with Pinergy Electric, who supply only 100% renewable power at source. So we signed a contract worth €2 million for our clubs and communities in Connacht, where they can buy 100% renewable electricity that's produced in Connacht, in Sligo and Lacken Wind Farm, and our clubs can now avail of that electricity at a lower rate than the market rate. So essentially moving the renewable electrical requirement to source, because all of our clubs have a lot of things on with their core business of sports and games, a lot of bills to pay. All of them want solar as the big capital item. It was very difficult for us to support every community in that, but this was an impactful way of impacting their carbon footprint. Next slide. So we, at a national level, from Connacht's efforts, the Green Club program, where we became a leader within the community for a national program across all 32 counties. So the Green Club program is now in place with an online toolkit, which is actually available to everyone. Everyone should have a look at it. Really good supports and templates in that. We're now supporting other sporting organisations across Europe. Benfica, Porto, FA Wales, we're involved in projects with. So we've joined it's a new emerging norm for sport sustainability. So we've joined the UN Sports for Climate Action Framework, the report, also the EU Green Support Expert Groups, which we're part of. Main highlights are really focused guidance and recommendations to create a pathway essentially for European sporting organisations to meet the Green Deal. Focused areas for that report would be on cross-sectoral solutions, sustainable infrastructure, sustainable events, especially in the GAA, because we mobilise over 1 million people when it comes to championship. When you think it through, capacity building, education and promotion of sustainable practices. So recommendations from that report are things such as developing a sustainable strategy, developing mobility plans to promote the use of public transport, low carbon vehicles, and active options such as bicycles and walking, and the linkage of all of those, that infrastructure. And then that ties really back into our own ethics of respect, player welfare, inclusiveness, and amateur status and community. Next slide. So again, just following that, a sustainable GEA with a focus on the environment. So sustainability to be embedded in our identity, our values, and our manifesto, as I mentioned. Our leadership and inspiration and sustainability. So we have some key diamonds, I suppose, across the country. Croke Park is now one of the world's most sustainable venues. For example, you can get a 50-mile menu option within the stadium for events, where all of the produce comes from within a 50-mile radius. It has one of the country's largest rainwater harvesting tanks, which has just been completed, and we have our own farm. So very unusual with regards to stadium. The Croke Park pitch used to come from the UK. So every time Robbie Williams or Oasis plays, a truck left the UK with a new pitch in the following week to be relayed. Now we have our own farm, which is a unique. So we grow 4 pitches at a time out in the farm, and then we bring them in from the Knoll to Croke Park, which is a very small trip, with beehives, and some of the produce that's in the stadium, food-wise, is actually grown on that farm. Connacht Centre Excellence, as I outlined, is a diamond as well, in a sense, with sustainability and sport and best practice. And we have visitors from across the world, Barcelona FC, for example, coming now to Connacht to look at how we might do things differently than they currently do. County structures were now coming down from the top down, with sustainable energy communities being rolled out across the counties' boards. So now we have a formal place in life in each county in the country, managing and administrating sustainability as well as football. And as I mentioned, the Green Club programme. Next slide. And overall, a strategic approach within the GEA. So we're currently putting together a national strategy around GEA and a plan at a national level, supporting our grassroots engagement, recognising current actions and identifying gaps, risks and opportunities, future-proofing the association ultimately, getting ahead of these new norms within the sporting space, and again, I suppose, inspiration and respecting our leadership role within the community. Next slide. So in my new role within Enterprise Ireland, I work with life sciences companies across the country, but we have a sustainability department. We also have a green team, which I'm a volunteer of, and I've brought some of my climate ambassador actions across into Enterprise Ireland, where now we've had days out across the country. We've visited Croke Park, we've visited Dublin Airport to see how they work. We've had tree planting days, which was interesting as inspiration, because a lot of our staff have never planted a tree. So it was quite interesting. And so that was really bringing the climate ambassador functions across my different roles that I've had. So the Green Transition Fund is supports for Enterprise Ireland companies at every step of their decarbonisation journey. So available on our website, and everything from Kickstarter, £5,000 supports, right through to €50,000 supports available, perhaps for some of your own clients that you might deal with. That's it from me. Thanks to Alex and Grania and the Climate Ambassador Programme, and I certainly would recommend everybody to engage. It gave me a lot of confidence and was a game changer in how I present and action my own sustainability goals. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Kurt and Alex, for very insightful presentations. I think both of them inspired us a lot. I hope that you'll get more candidates for climate ambassadors. And then this brings me to the next slide, says is how to get involved. So I hope the two presentations inspired you. So if you want to get involved with us in our social impact activities, there is a QR code here in the PMI. We have a form there to people interested in becoming a volunteer. So you can scan this QR code or go to our website. We want to grow, so we want to scale, work with more organizations, do more work with Antarctica and the Irish Emergency Alliance. So to grow, we need more volunteers. And I think when you start working as a volunteer, you get addicted. You never stop. It's really, really good. The other possibility to get engaged and work with us is if you are a nonprofit or NGO organization. So we want to, as I mentioned, we want to scale and work with other NGOs. So if you want to, if you know, or if you are part of any other organization, again, say we have our new page that we launched we are launching today, the PMI Social Impact. You can scan the QR code, or you can send an email to socialimpact@pmiireland.org. And then we can start having some conversations, initial conversations. And then we have some exciting upcoming events. So I hope you enjoyed the webinar today and get inspired to know more. So as Peter mentioned, next week, the Ireland Chapter of PMI is organizing the Project Management Week. So from Monday to Friday, we are going to have one event per day. And the first one will be our event. It's called Climate Action Lab. This will be an interactive workshop, and we will introduce the Venn diagram tool. That is a practical method to connect your personal passions with climate action and design purpose-driven initiatives that resonate with you. And then we will have the pleasure to collaborate with Antarctica. So I think Alex and Grania will be there together with our team. This event is sponsored by EUI, so it will be located in the EUI building. And it will be very interesting. So it will be a hands-on workshop. So we are going to split in small groups, and basically you are going to using this diagram to see what you like to do, what you're good to do, and how that can help like climate action. And then the idea is that you find some projects or some initiatives, some things that you can do to help, to be part of the Climate Action Week. We are going to select some of the best ideas, and then the idea being redundant, say we are going to try to deliver or to do something during the Climate Action Week. So it's like a 3 series of events. We have our webinar today. Next week, we have the Climate Action Lab. And then in October, we will hope to have many people participate in the Climate Action Week with something that is real. So it's to move from talk to action. And then I think this is a really nice phrase, say, be the change that we wish to see in the world, by Mahatma Gandhi. I think it's very, very inspiring. And then we are coming to our end. So just a recap, don't miss this opportunity. So we have the 3 QR codes here to register for the Climate Action Lab, to visit the Climate Action Week website and add your event there, and also to donate to the Gaza West Bank Appeal, managed by the Irish Emergency Alliance. So I think we are 10 minutes ahead, so I think we have some time for questions to me or to Alex or to Kurt. you can use
this. Folks have questions, just pop them in the chat. Just please.
Come on, guys. Questions? Any questions, Peter, to start? Or any comments?
Yeah, I mean, just to say, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the session. I just want to say I really enjoyed Alex's presentation. I really enjoyed Kurt's presentation, and it's fabulous to kind of see how project management kind of how it can come together to have a huge impact around social good. And for me, it's just really powerful. It's something I feel very passionately about, and it's just absolutely fabulous to see all of this coming together and how we can see social good impacting our everyday lives. So a very big thank you to everyone who's been involved in this event. It's been fabulous.
Okay, no, thanks, Peter. I really enjoyed working. Say it was a lot of work behind the scenes to put the 1 hour webinar. And I also like to thank, say, to our events team, the marketing department. And there is another thing that I forgot to mention. It's about the PMI as the Ireland Chapter of PMI. We have different initiatives. So, for example, we are social impact, but we are talking a lot about the climate change and sustainability. And for people that are really interested in this, we have a sustainability community of practice that is basically for project managers or other people interested in sustainability that can come together and work together. So we have this group, this community of practice in the Ireland chapter of PMI. We also have other areas there where you can volunteer. We have the agile people that are keen to use the agile methodologies to help the nonprofits. We also have the was going to mention don't know, forgot my mind. But say there are many other ways to collaborate with us. Oh, I remember now. Even areas that are not say you don't think how this relates to climate action or to sustainability, for example, or for social impact. We have the AI Hub, Innovation Hub. So we had a hackathon, and were many students that they were very excited, and then the money that was generated, say, was donated to one of our other social impact, Irish Emergency Alliance. So we are trying to connect different areas of PMI to work all together in social impact. I think we can do more working together.
I think we have a few questions, Carlos, in the chat tab and the Q&A tab.
Okay, there's one for Shona about can you speak more on specific volunteer opportunities and roles needed and what they look like? Can any of them be done virtually? Definitely say, yeah, we have different opportunities, say, depends on the initiatives that are working on. For example, for Antarctica, we have a group of volunteers. We are basically working remotely. In fairness, this Monday was the first time that we met to take some pictures. So I think the world is remote now. We have volunteers from Cork. We had a volunteer that was working from India. We have people from Dublin. So absolutely, you can live in different areas of Ireland, or maybe even abroad if you're traveling or working abroad. In terms of roles, say we can have people that can provide project management skills. We are looking for people that can maybe deliver some project management training to some nonprofits. There's a lot of interest in social media. It's not really post, but maybe to look at the strategy, say their digital marketing strategy, and see how project management can help. We have opportunities for pro bono work. So if you usually nonprofits, they don't have all the research they need, all the people they need. So sometimes you need hands-on people to really go there and help with an event, help with the Climate Action Week, or help with the marketing team. So it's very diverse. I think if you want to volunteer, we can find something for you to do.
Just to add to that, Carlos, as well, just talk about some of the wider opportunities. So, as an Ireland chapter of PMI, where at the moment we've got just over 2,700 members in Ireland and growing. But as part of that, we've got an active volunteer community of over 70 people. So there are absolutely plenty of opportunities for volunteering, and we absolutely welcome any application that would come from the overall project profession. And certainly getting involved is a fantastic opportunity. It's very rewarding, and I would highly encourage people. And for social good, it's a double benefit because you're gaining experience and at the same time you're providing social good. So very highly recommend it.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Yeah, there's another question. Say, typically, what the level of commitment would be required? Again, depends on the role. For example, maybe you need to spend, I don't know, half an hour per week, 1 hour per week, or we are going to have one of these pro bono that is going to work 7 to 10 hours per week during 4 months. So again, we can accommodate. We usually meet once a week for 1 hour, but then say when we were organizing this webinar, for example, there was a lot of interactions, Teams meetings and emails so depends on the role, but we always can accommodate, because remember, everybody hopefully is working, so work has priority over the volunteer work, family, so we need to conciliate that. We always understand, say, oh, you are supposed to attend a PMI meeting and then you have a meeting with your boss. That's normal. We are not going to blame you or fire you.
Carlos, I was just going to add there that, like, specifically for Antashka and Climate Action Week, you guys have been so fantastic helping us with the pre-planning and the scheduling and, you know, making the planning of the festival and all the work we have to do fantastic. But we'd also, you know, it's such a diverse project because there's the festival itself and then the reporting afterwards. So like if someone had experience in event planning or festival planning and then even reporting, there's so many different facets that a volunteer could get involved in with Climate Action Week.
Okay, exactly. Any other questions? Let me see. Oh, we have a message in the chat saying that she already submitted her application to become a volunteer. So thank you so much, Shauna. And there is a comment that demonstrating social values is now a very important element with public tenders. So it's also good for business beyond being a good for its own sake. Yes. I think that is the message in the beginning of the presentation, that projects with purpose, with social impact, is good for business too. It's good for the world, but it's good for business. Oh, sorry, I'm reading now the complete message saying that she's saying that she submitted her application, but haven't heard back yet. So yeah, we'll check. And there's a message from Brian for the excellent Brian from the Irish Emergency Alliance. So thanks, Brian. And then there's Julia saying that this was fascinating to learn more about what we're doing. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Julia is from the Project Managers Without Borders. Yeah. Thanks so much, Julia, for attending. Let's connect. Yeah. So I think now it's 2 p.m.
Great.
So,
super. Thank you.
So thank you so much, and I hope to see you next week in in our Climate Action Lab and also in the other events for the PM Week. See you there. Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
you.
Peter. Thanks, Alex and Kurt.
Cheers. Thanks, folks.